Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day as we get going here and wait for a few folks to come on. And let me see here. We got some people. Here we go. Who's the first to say hi to me this morning? Rosalinda. Niagara Falls. Good morning, John. And Kevin. And Nativity. Good morning, guys. Regina, how are you? Andrea, Niagara Falls, well represented this morning. Rosa. Beth, good morning to you. Carrie, Nebraska. Nick from our stock. Trudy, good morning to you. Fran, Orangeville. Judy, good morning. Mary, and Gary, and Micheline, and Gloria, Linda, and Evelyn. Thanks for coming on, guys. And John's from Sheridan, Wyoming, and Tecumseh. Betty, Monique, Chelmsford, good morning. Wendy, Markham, Tilly, how are you? Adeline, LaSalle, Jeanette, Jocelyn, Catherine, Parksville, BC, bright and early. Karen, Coldwater, Francis, Sue, good morning. Mike from Norland. Tracy. Good morning. Diane. And Georgie. Halifax. Nova Scotia. You guys are great. Good morning, Nellie. Lori. Ventura, California. Emily. Marnie. Donna. And Colleen. Okay, a couple more. Let's get going. Holly. Good morning. More snow over the weekend. No fun. Deb, Detroit, Michigan. Mordecai, good morning. Annalisa, good morning. Renee, Newfoundland. You get bonjour from Hearst, Ontario. And another Diane, Zian, Jeanette, Carol, Tennessee. Evelyn, okay, Rachel. And Brenda, Campbell River, BC, right, Brent? Francis Marie, vitamin C time. Yeah, did you have your coffee? Connie, Diane, North Bay, Sylvie, bonjour. Okay, so this morning what I want to talk to you about is osteoporosis, how prevalent it is in our society today. And I'll get to that, I promise. Why? Why is it so prevalent in our society today? Let me read to you a little bit of statistics here as we get started. I looked these up in terms of osteoporosis. 50% of American women and 25% of American men, 50%, half, 25, 1/4, of American men will break a bone in their lifetime due to osteoporosis. Wow. Half the population of women and 1/4 of population of men are going to get osteoporosis. And yeah, well, osteoporosis. Okay. But broken bones? No fun. Listen to this. Fractures from osteoporosis are the leading cause of disability in older adults. Quote, within a year of hip fractures due to osteoporosis, 20% of those suffering will die. 20% of someone that has a hip fracture dies within a year, 20%. Crazy. when you get one fracture from osteoporosis, here I'm quoting these studies, is the staggering risk of future fractures. So when you start with a fracture of osteoporosis, the staggering risk of future fractures is increased by a whopping 86%. Okay, so why is that happening? Okay, so very prevalent. Osteoporosis, weakening of the bone. And the problem, again, in medicine, and I know I harp on this all the time, and I don't mean to be a harper, but I gotta harp on it a bit. And I watched this, I'm trying to think, was it in the 70s or the 80s with the advent of Fosamax? You know what Fosamax is? These are bone building medications. And they were hot. I'm going to say late 70s, early 80s. And I mean, these things are as good as sliced bread. I mean, they were pushing these things like crazy. And I was always scratching my head about it because, first of all, what they weren't telling you is the enormous side effects of taking Fosamax or bone building drugs. Because they weren't looking at the issue. It's typical in medicine. They try and solve a problem with a drug that creates other problems. It's like a Band-Aid. What's the problem? Why is there so much osteoporosis? Why is there so much osteopenia, which is the first stage of weakening of the bone? Okay? Now I want you to think along with me. Why is it? And we'll talk about some hormones and things like that for sure, but generally, why is it that we see so much of that, and how deadly osteoporosis can be? Okay, so there's a couple of reasons. And you know me, I always think of food. Food first. What changed? What changed? One of the things that changed is that we went sugar crazy. We went sugar crazy. What is sugar, Doc? Got to do with bones. Well, a lot. I was telling friends yesterday that the people that look at joints, for example, and the spine, orthopedic people, when they actually do surgery, they marvel at the lack of quality of bone. I mean, you know what's big today? Knee replacements, hip replacements, and even back, it's not maybe as prevalent as it was back in my day, but spinal surgery, and surgeons talking, orthopedic surgeons talking about quality of bone, how they seen it change. And they see what they call a caramelization of bone. What's that mean? Big word. What is it? Well, it's where the bone has become very brittle. It's not, because people think of, well, you know what, I had to get a knee replacement. Okay, and I mean, look, if you played football or you had an injury, and I mean, that's it can happen, right? The joint deteriorates or whatever. But the problem is that bone quality overall has gone way down in people, especially as they age. You know what's happening? One of the biggest things is that diet. It is sugar. Sugar creates a lot of problems, as you and I know. One of its problems is what it does to joints, what it does to bone quality. It glycates it. What's that mean? Glycation. It strips away the youth of bones, and they become glycated. Sugar is the source of what we call glycation end products. Aging, not only of your skin, of your organs on the inside, but your bone quality. Here's another reason. The lack of a vitamin. What, 2? 3? No, but seriously, lack of a vitamin that I want you guys to eat. Vitamin K2. You know why vitamin K2 is so important? I mean, for several reasons, but here's one. You see, calcium. Calcium. Still the number one selling supplement of all time. Calcium. It's a terrible supplement. You need calcium, by the way. You do. But you don't need it in a supplement. You see, God gave it to you to eat calcium. Because you know what God did with calcium? He put it with K2. So when you eat butter, you have calcium and K2. What's K2 do? You guys know this. K2 takes calcium, doesn't leave it in your bloodstream like a calcium supplement, and puts it where? In the bones, where it belongs. And you know what happened? I've given you the history. The liars, pants on fires, cereal companies, who told you, don't eat butter. Don't have bacon and eggs. It's not good for you. You eat our cereal because you need fiber. And there's no K2 in cereal. And the lie of eating fat-free. Brought to you by Kellogg's. The American Heart Association. Bought and paid for by the pharmaceutical companies and the big food companies. I know, I'm not a conspiracy guy, honest. It's not a conspiracy, it's the truth. They changed the way we ate. They started with kids and changing the breakfast. You can't have bacon and eggs. That would be crazy. You need to have our cereal. So what happened? Now we got a major onslaught of, well, a lot of other things, but one of them is osteoporosis. Because your bones, they don't need sugar. They need butter in cheese. Because it's a vitamin K2. You know what K2 does? Besides K2, the Rodney Dangerfield, who gets no respect. Vitamin K2 gets no respect because people lump K1 and K2 together. And they shouldn't do that. I think I've taught you better than that. Vitamin K2, K1 is found mostly in the plant kingdom. When you eat salad. But K2 is in the animal kingdom. And it takes calcium. So when you eat butter, and when you have cheese, and when you have meat, steak, you're getting vitamin K2. Perfectly surrounding the calcium that's in there. Did you know? You got a high calcium in dairy. That's why I don't want you to ditch dairy. I want you to switch dairy. Like when people tell me, well, Dr. Martin, what are you doing? That dairy is so acidic and it's so bad for you. Well, you know what? Like grocery store milk, I agree with you. But not cream, not butter, not cheese. That's good for you. Nature's perfect answer to your bones. That's why we see so much osteoporosis, especially women. I'm eating fat-free. Like you're going to win a prize by winning fat. Yeah, I eat fat-free. You got lied to. That's not true. It's not good for you. You need fat for your bones. Well, for a lot of other things. You need fat for your heart too. And the whole world, guys, the whole world went for it. It was like they got hooked and dragged along like a fish that got hooked. And the whole world went crazy to go fat-free. Yeah, but you're going to lower your cholesterol. I know. That's stupid too. See what it does? You see, vitamin K2, okay, one, takes calcium, puts it in the bones where it belongs. Okay? Takes calcium, puts it where it belongs, in your teeth and in your bones. That's where calcium belongs. Secondly, you know what vitamin K2 does? It balances the osteoblast and osteoclast. Okay, now what's that mean? Okay, because people, okay, osteoclast, C-L-A-S-T-S, okay, osteo, bone, clast, breaks down bone, and then you got bone cells, osteoclasts, and then you have osteoblasts, B-L-A-S-T-S. They blast, not to break bone down, but to build them up. They osteoblast, build up your bone. And as you get older, of course, your osteoclast, breaking down bone, is starting to win the battle of your osteoblast. But especially if you're not eating vitamin K2. Eat sugar, and it really destroys your osteoblast. It increases your osteoclast. You don't get enough vitamin K2, and you don't get that balance. between the osteoclast and the osteoblast, number 2. Number 3, why do we have so much osteoporosis? Because people stay out of the sun. They stay out of the sun. Vitamin D, Viderma. And they love their sunscreen. Oh! Brought to you by Johnson & Johnson. You know, the sun, you're going to get sun damage on your skin. Ooh. We need Viderma. We need Viderma. Vitamin D isn't only for bones, but it is for bones, though. You need vitamin D, and what has happened in the last 50, 60 years? Oh, the sun causes skin cancer. It's just the opposite. Melanoma is a lack of vitamin D from the sun. You can't have strong bones without vitamin D. And you could become toxic on vitamin D. You get 20 minutes of sun. I always argue this. If you get 20 minutes of sun, do you know how much vitamin D you get? Without sunscreen. And your arms exposed. Okay? You know how much vitamin D you get? You get 10,000 IUs. Ooh! 10,000 IUs of vitamin D. Yeah. The recommendation, you know, from most physicians or whatever, is not enough for mice. Never mind a man or a woman. Vitamin D, it's so important for your bones and everything else too, as you well know. But people don't get the sun. They're scared of it. I see these women and they got hats that are, they bump into people because their hats are so wide. And they're all covered up on a sunny day. And I feel like going in, hello, can I talk to you for a minute? Can I teach you something? You know, don't worry about skin cancer. Worry about your bones. You're going to have a fracture. It's one of the factors, guys. And everybody that bought the lie of eating fat-free and, you know, fat-soluble, vitamin K2 and vitamin D are fat-soluble vitamins. You get them in the animal kingdom. You can eat vitamin D. That's why Eskimos who never see the sun, the northern Inuit, they don't see the sun. Well, when they do, it's 70 below. But they got strong bones because they get their vitamin D every day in fat-soluble, you know, when they're eating their fish and organs and fat from the seal and the whales and the caribou. Yeah, that's how they get it. Problem with eating vitamin D is you better eat it every day. if you can't see the sun. Vitamin D. So you got sugar, which destroys bone. You got vitamin K2 that people are very low in because they're scared of it. Well, they're not scared of the vitamin K2. They just don't know where to find it because nobody taught them. It's perfect in nature. You look at foods like eggs, meat, and cheese, you're going to get all the vitamin K2 you need. Now, I put it in our vitamin D to make better bone and to take that stinking calcium, which hardens your arteries. Don't leave it in, calcium. Don't leave it in your bloodstream. And you need, like I always tell people, look, bone is much more complex than it looks like, because people see bone and they see calcium in their minds, right? And they're not wrong. There's a lot of calcium there, but you need a lot of other minerals, guys. You need zinc, right? You need boron. You need selenium. You need minerals. You need magnesium. And again, I'm just telling you, I know this is not popular when I say this, because I always get pushback on the reset. Lots of pushback on the reset, especially from professionals in the health industry, because they've been so brainwashed. They just got a hard time. Like, where are you going to get? If you do the reset, you're not eating plants. How are you going to get all your minerals? I said, well, they're in meat. You get a lot more magnesium in the animal kingdom than you do in the plant kingdom. And they argue that because I said, well, you know what's the key? Is bioavailability. What? Bioavailability. You see, plants, and hey, I'm not saying don't eat them. But you and I have talked about this, but I'll remind you. Plants have a chelating factor. And I don't want to get into the weeds. That's plants too. I don't want to get in there too much. So I don't want to confuse you. But what I'm saying is this. When I talk to you, like if you read the book, The Reset, I talk about this. I don't want you eating any oxalates. What do oxalates do? They chelate. They take minerals out of your body. Oxalates. Phytic acid. Chelate. In the plant kingdom, they chelate minerals. Whoop! Out of the body. You can't rely on the plant kingdom for your minerals. You're going to have to take a supplement. And I want you to eat these minerals. And then you got fiber. If I don't have fiber. I know, but they chelate. Fiber helps to take the minerals out of your body. Fiber, fiber, fiber. Cereal, cereal, cereal. Ooh. Okay? Don't live on plants. You're fooling yourself. Your bones will never be strong, ever. And here's another one. Okay? Here's another one. Vitamin E. You need vitamin E for your bones. Why do I talk about that all the time? exercise and the right exercise. Now look, you like walking? So do I. Okay? Is it good for your bones? Not much. Okay? It's not much. It's all right. But you're not going to get strong bone, and you'll never regenerate bone by walking or jogging or on the treadmill or biking. Okay? Won't do it, honey. You need resistant exercises. You need resistant exercises. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're not supposed to use that anymore, I heard. Oh, don't get me going on that. Ladies and gentlemen, you need resistant exercise. You're 80 years old? Start if you haven't done it. You want bones to be strong? The stronger your muscles are. Remember, muscles are attached to bones. The stronger your muscles are, the stronger your bones are. Because what muscles do, they create more osteoblasts. They're blasting more bone cells to grow muscle. Think of those attachments in your hips and in your spine. You know, people ask me, what should I do? I got a bad back. Get strong. Doc, I got a bad lower back. Strengthen your legs. Doc, I got a bad neck. Strengthen your upper back. Resistant exercises, weights, resistant bands, push-ups. Really good for you. Get strong. I was talking to a young man yesterday, very lean. I said, well, don't worry about being lean. It's the way you're built. But get strong. Be a lean, mean fighting machine. Get strong. It's really important for your bones. Eat steak. You're going to get vitamin K2 and all your minerals. What? Yup. And zinc too. You need that for your bones. So when I see these statistics, that half the population of women, imagine, half, are on their way to osteoporosis, half. And a quarter of men. Food. It's food, baby. And vitamin E. And vitamin E. Okay. Did you have fun this morning? I had fun. Okay? I had fun. Really. Okay, so schedule for this week looks good. I mean, every morning. Friday, just telling you ahead of time, it's going to be Thursday question and answer. Why? Friday, off. Okay? No program Friday. So just keep that in mind, okay? We'll let you know on the private Facebook group and that, right? Are you a member of the private Facebook group? You're not? Why not? Why not? Do you get our emails? You don't? Why not? Sign up for that. Tell everyone about the Doctor Is In podcast. Tell everyone about the reset. Even for bones, the reset is good. Even for bones. Don't get duped into osteoporosis. Don't get duped. Now look, I didn't even talk to women. I guess I could have. About menopause and why their bones a little bit more susceptible after menopause. There's some hormonal factors. But what you can control, guys, what you can control is the food you eat and the exercise you do. And it's never too late to start. Never. Never too late to start to get strong bones. Okay. Love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.